What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, not a lot has changed since the last video. Still just got the old field plowed, still got the old tractor sitting where I parked it. Haven't really done anything. And just wanted to kind of bring you guys in and yeah, we're going to do a couple of things here, I guess. We need to look at where we're going to put some of the things that we're going to need day to day on the farm. So we're going to go into here, and this is probably going to be some of the things that we're going to need most often. And it's just some different, different types of, whether it be lime or fertilizer or whatever the case may be. We're just going to need, we're going to need that. Uh, so we have this one that does it at half the price. And while that may sound, great, um, I don't want to feel like I'm cheating to win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy this one. Um, it costs you higher prices. And to me, I think that's just more realistic. You have to pay someone to bring and bring the actual fertilizer in to to fill your tank. So paying a little bit more for the fertilizer just to me makes most sense because that's in the real world that's what you're going to have to do. And a good place for it, I just feel like right here would be a good place. I'm probably going to put it here, and then I'm going to put my seeds right here. That way I could just kind of roll up on them and, can kind of get them both done at once. Don't know why it's kind of being fidgety there, but, just put it there. Um, and yeah, I'm going to end up paying more money for it, but at the end of the day, I don't want to feel like I'm cheating or I'm doing some sort of cheat. Um, to save me money or whatever the case may be. I want it to be as realistic as possible on most things like that. At least when it comes to the gameplay. I mean, like I know in the first video I was talking about, how I really didn't care where I left my equipment because at the end of the day, the equipment on this game it doesn't really rust. But there is a couple things I did just realize that I wanted to change as far as the settings go. Um, and one of the things that I like to change is the dirt. I mean, I just like to have it. I like for my vehicles to look dirty, especially when we get us an old truck down the road. There's something about having an old dirty farm truck that just makes it feel more like a farm, right? But yeah, just that, everything else I'm going to leave, on the default settings, except for this. I really don't like that. I prefer when I get out of my vehicle that it just, whatever I'm driving, it just automatically turns off. And then when I get in it, it starts back up. It's easier because I'm bad that I'll just get out of my vehicle and I'll run off and leave it running and run all my fuel out. So I do like to have that automatic start and stop feature. And one other thing that I do want to change, and that's in the seasons menu. I just want to change the season links, the length to 3 days, simply because a 9 day season. I mean, yeah, I mean it gives you a lot of time to get everything done, but in all honesty, you can get most things done that you're going to need to get done, as far as your fields and things, in one day. So I think a 3 day season, which would be much better. Um, and it's just to me that's just what I would prefer to go with. Um, and we'll go ahead and we'll attach our seeder, and then we'll go around. We'll get some seed and some fertilizer in the tank, and then oh well, boys, we're gonna have to do a next big purchase too at some point. Um, so yeah, uh, we'll go ahead and get some seed in there, and we'll pull up, and it's not gonna let me. We'll have to go back here and turn around. Okay. So we'll get this turned around and then we'll pull back up and we'll get some fertilizer. And okay, we're all filled up, so we're ready to go on seeding this first field. And let's go ahead and let's get turned around here. I don't know why I'm doing this. I just like to be lined up just so. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up here. We'll start seeding it, and we'll get that taken care of. So yeah, I mean, with seasons, guys. I mean, I'm still relative. I'm new. I'm learning. So I don't really know a whole lot. I mean, if you guys have any suggestions on seasons, definitely let me know. Or Farming Simulator in general, because like I said, I mean, I've really not played this game a whole lot. I mean, the time that I did spend on it, it was spent on um, the default map. I can't even remember the name now, but it's just one of the ones that you start out with. Um, and yeah, I mean, I did spend a little bit of time on this after I downloaded it, and I believe Wilhelmina Forest. Um, but yeah, in terms of actual gameplay, I haven't done a whole lot. Um, so I'm still relatively new. So if you guys have any pointers or ideas, I mean, I'd definitely love to hear them. It's just one of those things. With this game, there's so many things that you can do, and if there's something that makes this a little bit easier. I mean, while I've watched some videos on it to kind of get an idea, um, you know, it, it's still one of those things like I don't really know what I'm searching for or what I should search for. So I mean, if there's a mod or something out there that makes the game better or more realistic, I mean, I would definitely love to hear about it because the mods that I have are just mods that I've went through and I've looked at. Now I was like, that looks interesting. That sounds like it might be fun or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I've not really did a whole lot of research into the mods, and yes, as you can see, I'm terrible at a straight line. I just can't do it. But yeah, I've not really did a whole lot of research on the mods. So in terms of that, I don't know what's best and what isn't. So I'm still learning on that aspect. But the things that I've added are just things that I've looked at and I've either thought were really cool and it was something that I thought I would enjoy playing with, or if it's something that I thought would make the game more realistic or just give me more variety. Because I know there are a lot of things that are in terms of the game that you start out with that you're very limited on. You know, and so I did do some things that um, just made me feel like I had a little bit more variety. I mean, especially the cars. I mean, I had to get because while the two trucks that you did start out with, I mean, while they're decent, they're just not. They don't really fit my personality because one thing I am is I'm a huge car guy. I love cars, um, and trucks especially. So I wanted to have something in here that that kind of um, fit what I enjoy in my personal life, and something that that at some point I've either had or something like that. So it's one of those things. I looked at some mods like that. I did some of the side by sides, and I think there's really only been one or two vehicle mods that I've done. Um, and that it was just basically the truck, because I really like the truck, and if it's something that I'm going to be playing with the vehicle, I want to enjoy what I'm playing with. Um, the problem is the truck that I actually downloaded. I did find that just in playing, that there are certain trailers that don't work very good with it. The trailers just kind of float. So that doesn't, work out too well. But you know, it's one of those things like I don't really do trailering very often. I haven't done animals yet, so um, it's not something that I've had to worry about a great deal. And I really made a horrible job at this, but yeah. Anyway, I mean, it's just one of those things that I don't know. I mean, which with animals, you can get those delivered. I don't know if that would be the best, or if having them, actually, having a vehicle that's dedicated to hauling the animals would be better. Um, that's something I would definitely want to hear your guys' response on. Simply because I don't know. I've not played the game enough to know what works with that and what doesn't. Um, so I mean, is it something to where you're going to have to, have so many animals purchased before owning your own trailer, pays for itself essentially, or becomes cost effective, or is the delivery fees on animals just too high that it just makes most sense to buy your own trailer? I mean, looking at things, I mean, it looks like you would have to have a lot of animals to warrant the cost of some of the trailers. Um, but that's just me looking at it. I haven't did the math to determine if that's something that is true or not. But I know that you guys that have played the game, I'm sure you're going to have a better idea of that. And funny story about Farming Simulator though, is I hadn't even thought about. I mean, I'd seen it on the PlayStation Network or whatever, and I never thought about playing it. And then Amazon did the show at Clarkson Farm, and talking about cars, I love Top Gear and I love the Grand Tour. So Clarkson's Farm was something that, because it had Jeremy Clarkson in it, I was really interested in watching that. And I watched it, and it seemed like something that was a little bit of fun. And I got to thinking, I was like, well, I know that there's this game on the PlayStation. Maybe I'll check it out. And that's kind of how my love of cars really kind of, I guess you could say, got me into playing Farming Simulator. Now, another game that I'm looking at, and I don't know if it's something that you guys play or not, um, but is Auto Mechanic Simulator. Um, it looks like it's a fun game. I've played it a little bit, in all honesty, but not enough to really know if it's something that I'm going to enjoy. Because while I enjoy cars and things, I'm not the greatest mechanic, and as you can see, I cannot talk and drive a tractor to save my life. Um, yeah, it's just I can't do it. But hey, I'm trying. I'm trying here. I'm a new farmer. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. I've never, while being from Kentucky, I've never really did anything on a large scale farm. You know, growing up, my family, they did have gardens and things, but it was nothing on a grand scale like a farm or anything. So it was never anything that I did. Um, so it was just something I never got into, and I never really thought about a whole lot. I've never put a whole lot of thought into it. And I know that this is a video game, and I know that that's probably not going to really be something that comes into play. Um, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm sure if you had that little bit of knowledge about that, it would definitely make the gameplay easier. So, yeah, I mean, we did do our first crop. I did wheat, and I did wheat for one reason. Uh, while wheat doesn't pay as much as soy and things from the things that I've watched on Farming Simulator, um, it does give straw, and Straw is something that I do intend on using because I'm going to have cows. So if I could get an abundance of straw early on, get that kind of stored in like maybe a hayloft or something, that would that would go a long way when we do decide hey, it's time to do animals. Um, but that is still a little bit off now. Uh, you know, One thing I do want to do, and it's probably from a cost standpoint, it probably uh, it's probably not really something that's needed at this point, simply because it's not something that we need. It's just more or less it's one of those things that I like to have it in this game, and it's this truck. Um, it's just I used to have a '79 um, F-150 4x4 uh, that was very similar to this truck. Um, and I really did like that old truck. And while it didn't look as nice as this one, it was certainly it was one of those things that it was the first truck that I ever bought with my own money. And really, I think it was only maybe the second or third truck that I'd ever driven, because I used to drive my dad's old truck. Um, so it's one of those things. It's that nostalgia, and it's kind of taking me back to when I was a younger kid or younger man, if you will. So I always like to get this truck, and when I saw it in the mods, I just I knew that I wanted it. Now the other thing that I do like about this truck is you can go with this bed, and this is really good for just hauling just about anything that you would want to haul. And the other great thing is, um, you can do this, which you can haul animals. So this can buying this truck can essentially um, eliminate the need for you getting a trailer to haul animals. So I do like that. But of course, starting out, I'm just going to start out with this. And while on the plow, the color did not matter to me so much. I do think on this truck, I'm going to want to change a couple of things. First thing, that rim color. I'm not huge on chrome, but I do like this look on the rims, simply because it kind of reminds me of an old Blazer that my uncle used to have, and it had those white spoke rims on it, and it just looked really really good to me. In terms of color, um, you know, I like this color right here, black. Um, that's always the color that I'm going to go with. Um, and to me, while you could go with the onyx looks all right, I guess. Me personally, I like the jet, because it's that nice shiny black color, and to me, with those white rims, it really looks good. And with this old truck, I mean, you can do a lot. You can do a lot with it around the farm. If we do hay bales, we'll be able to haul the hay bales. Um, and it's something. Well, I don't really need that at this stage of the game. It's a farm. You gotta have a truck on the farm, right? I mean, it's one of those things. You just have to do it. Um, and another thing that we're going to need, and this is actually going to be something that we do need, is we're going to need a trailer of some sort. Now, what kind of trailer? I don't really know. Just looking at what we have here, um, I know this one is 8,000, but you've only got a 4,000 liter capacity, whereas this one is 85, and um, it comes with uh, from the start you have 10,750 liters. So it's to me it's much better. The only thing is, and this is my main thing. Um, I don't like these kind of trailers. I don't like trailers that, um, the wheels turn in the front. I just don't like that. It's not really something. So for that very reason, I would much rather go with something like this. And down the road, I mean, we can always, increase the capacity, or we could just have a little bale wagon, whatever. Um, you know, it, either way, it doesn't really matter. But we'll just start out with this one, spending 8 grand on it, just to kind of have it. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much done for that. I mean we got our truck waiting for us. We got our trailer. Um, and one other thing that we're going to have to get, uh, and that means we're going to have to get a couple more stations. Um, I don't know. I don't think with these, I don't think you can actually get lime, which I'm gonna check on because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm putting lime down on my field, it just it goes. I go through it so fast. Um, so I definitely want something like that. So I'm gonna look to see that. See, I've got this one and it's half the price. I don't really like that. So what I'm gonna have to do is, yeah, I've only got a herbicide, liquid fertilizer, and solid, and then seeds. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to effectively go in and look at the other mods and things that we have available to us here on console and see if I can't find something. Because I really don't want to have to go to the store every time I need um, every time I need lime, and lime is something that you need. I think it's three every third time that you go to seed it, you're going to need lime. So yeah, it's definitely something that I'm going to want to have as a placeable here on the farm, just to kind of save me uh, the headache of having to go there so often. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let me check this because I think this may need lime. It does. So I'm gonna have to buy some lime regardless, guys, and I'm gonna need a spreader. So for spreaders, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'm just gonna pick this one up. Um, because to me it does both. It does lime and fertilizer, and then before I make that leap and I decide to go to the store and just buy my lime there, I'm actually going to wrap this video up and I'm just going to kind of hop in the mods and see what I can find for us on there because, like I said, I just don't want to have to run to the store every time. This initial time, it's okay, but yeah, I mean, I just don't want to have to do it every time we're going to need lime because we need lime pretty often, it seems. Because you run through it so quickly, and I can never buy just enough to do the fields that I have. I always fell short, it seems. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. You know, if you haven't done so already, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below, guys. I mean, what are some good mods? I mean, I really need to, I really want to know. I mean, what are some good mods to go with on this game, and that way we can go from there, and I can look and see what we have. But yeah, with that being said, guys, you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for watching.